Welcome back. This is Runa. Thank you for coming today. I'm truly happy to have you here. I will do my best to bring you a heartwarming time, so please sit back and enjoy. Day 111, The Night Library. Anomaly in the Silence. In the heart of Tokyo stands an old library, known as the House of Shadows. With a long history, this library is a place where many people visit during the day in search of knowledge. However, its atmosphere changes drastically at night. The protagonist, Shota Sato, is a student majoring in history at university. One day, he visited the library for his research and stayed until closing time. Engrossed in his studies, he found himself alone in the library after it had closed. I've stayed past closing time. What should I do? Shota was startled when he looked at the clock. At that moment, he heard a faint sound coming from the back of the library. Hearing footsteps in a supposedly empty building made Shota uneasy. However, driven by curiosity, he quietly started walking to find out the source of the sound. As he moved deeper into the library, he noticed a faint light seeping through the old bookshelves. Drawn to the light, he discovered an ancient book glowing on one of the shelves. What is this? Shota reached out and picked up the book. At that moment, the entire library was enveloped in darkness, and a mysterious force pulled Shota in. When he regained his senses, he found himself in a completely different place. It was a strange library, unlike anything in the real world. Where am I? Shota couldn't hide his surprise and confusion. The mysterious librarian. Shota found himself in an interdimensional library. The shelves were lined with countless old books, and the high shelves reached the ceiling. The atmosphere of the library was mystical, and he felt a strange power filling the air. What is this place? Shota muttered as he looked around. Then, a soft voice came from behind him. Welcome, Shota Sato. Startled, Shota turned around to see a woman standing there. She had long black hair and wore traditional clothing. Her eyes seemed to hold deep knowledge. Who are you? Shota asked cautiously. I am Lillian, the librarian of this place. I have been waiting for you. Lillian answered with a gentle smile. Waiting? For me? What do you mean? Shota grew even more confused. This is the Night Library, a place that only those chosen by a special book can visit. You were chosen by that book, Lillian explained calmly. Remembering the book he had picked up, Shota listened to Lillian's story. That book brought me here. Yes, that book is the key to your destiny, Lillian said, looking at Shota intently. Though still incredulous, Shota began to trust Lillian's sincere attitude. What should I do here? You must unravel the mysteries hidden within this library, to find the key that connects the past and future, Lillian replied quietly. Accepting Lillian's words, Shota decided to venture further into the library. He began walking, determined to find the mission he was destined to fulfill in this strange place. I don't know what's waiting for me here, but I have to try, Shota said to himself as he walked on. Sealed knowledge. Guided by Lillian, Shota ventured deeper into the library. Along the way, he saw many old books and strange devices. Lillian spoke quietly. This library holds knowledge that cannot be obtained in the real world. However, with that knowledge comes great responsibility. What kind of knowledge? Shota asked, intrigued. For example, there are ancient texts from great wizards of the past and books that predict the future. But if such knowledge were misused, it could cause great harm, Lillian answered with a stern expression. After walking for a while, they arrived at a massive door. The door was inscribed with ancient letters and exuded a mysterious power. This is the place of the first trial. Beyond this door lies sealed knowledge. Lillian pointed to the door. Shota placed his hand on the door and slowly opened it. Inside was a room that looked like an old study. with a single ancient book on a central altar. This book contains the truth of the past. However, you must overcome a trial to open it, Lillian explained quietly. Shota approached the altar and picked up the book. At that moment, the entire room shook, and a strange light emanated from the book. Shota closed his eyes for a moment, and when he opened them again, he was in a completely different scene. He stood in a medieval village, where villagers looked at him with puzzled expressions. In the center of the village sat a giant dragon, terrifying the villagers. "So this is the trial," Shota muttered. Listening to the villagers' stories, he began searching for a way to defeat the dragon. According to an old village legend, a special sword was needed to slay the dragon, and that sword lay in a cave near the village. Gathering his courage, Shota decided to head to the cave. The inside of the cave was dark and eerie, but Shota pressed on, relying on the light of his flashlight. Eventually, he found a glowing sword deep within the cave. As he picked up the sword, light once again enveloped him, and he was back in the study. "You have overcome the trial. Now you can access the sealed knowledge," Lillian said with a smile. Shota opened the book and began reading the truths of the past recorded within. The contents were astonishing and deeply moved his heart. Emerging shadows. Having acquired the sealed knowledge, Shota's mission became clearer. However, the knowledge he had obtained also awakened a presence that threatened the library's peace. One night, sensing an ominous presence in the library, Shota walked between the bookshelves, searching for its source. Suddenly, a cold wind blew from behind, and a menacing shadow appeared. "Who is it?" Shota turned and called out to the shadow. The shadow slowly took form, revealing a man dressed in a black robe, with eyes full of deep darkness. "I am Kaiser. I have come to seize the power of this library," the man said coldly. "The power of the library? That cannot be allowed," Shota replied with firm resolve. "Then prove it with your strength." Kaiser unleashed his dark power and attacked Shota. Drawing on the knowledge and courage given by Lillian, Shota confronted Kaiser. However, Kaiser's power was overwhelming, and Shota found himself gradually cornered. "Don't give up, Shota." Lillian's voice rang out, giving Shota strength. Summoning all his might, Shota launched a counterattack on Kaiser. Utilizing the knowledge of the library, he chanted an ancient spell and successfully sealed Kaiser. "This is not the end. My power is eternal." Kaiser uttered ominous words as he vanished. "Who was he?" Shota murmured, catching his breath. Lillian approached Shota with a gentle smile. "You possess remarkable courage. However, this is not the end." As he said, further trials await to protect the library's peace. Listening to Lillian, Shota reaffirmed his mission. "I understand. I will protect this library and the knowledge within." "Thank you, Shota. As long as you're here, this library is safe." Lillian expressed her gratitude, and together they prepared for the next trial. Renewing his resolve, Shota vowed to continue his adventure in this mysterious library. Ancient Spellbook. A few days after the battle with Kaiser, Shota was informed by Lillian about the forbidden archive deep within the library. It contained further knowledge and power, but obtaining that power required overcoming severe trials. The forbidden archive holds the power to protect the library. However, acquiring that power comes with great sacrifice. Lillian spoke cautiously. "I am ready. I will overcome any trial to protect the library," Shota replied with determination. Lillian guided Shota to the forbidden archive. The entrance was inscribed with ancient spells and protected by a powerful barrier. Following Lillian's instructions, Shota chanted a spell and lifted the barrier. "From here, you must proceed alone. Be careful," Lillian said quietly. Shota advanced alone into the archive. Inside were countless ancient books, and at the center lay a large spellbook. Reaching for the spellbook, Shota was engulfed in a brilliant light. This is. Opening his eyes, Shota found himself in a desolate land, with black clouds swirling in the sky. Suddenly, countless shadows emerged from the darkness and attacked Shota. Drawing on the spellbook's power, Shota began fighting the shadows. Each spell he chanted unleashed powerful magic, defeating the shadows. However, the shadows kept coming, seemingly endless. Exhausted, Shota was on the verge of collapse when Lillian's voice echoed in his mind. Don't give up, Shota. You still have power. Unlock the power deep within your heart. Drawing strength from Lillian's words, Shota stood up again. Releasing all the power within, he launched a final strike. The intense light pierced through the darkness, and the shadows vanished. When he opened his eyes again, Shota was back in the Forbidden Archive, the spellbook glowing in his hands. Well done, Shota. You have obtained the power of the Forbidden Archive, Lillian said gratefully. The final trial. With the power of the Forbidden Archive, Shota prepared to protect the library. However, the final trial he faced was not over. Kaiser's influence remained, and the library was once again in danger. One night, ominous sounds echoed through the library, and Shota readied himself for battle. Lillian stood by his side, determined to face the final trial together. Shota, this is the last trial. To completely seal Kaiser's power, you must use all your strength, Lillian said seriously. Understood. I will fight with all my might. Shota solidified his resolve. At the library's center, Kaiser's shadow reappeared, stronger than before, and attacked Shota. I have returned. The power of this library is mine, Kaiser declared coldly. Using the power of the Forbidden Archive, Shota confronted Kaiser. The fierce battle shook the entire library. Despite giving his all, Shota found Kaiser's power overwhelming. You still do not fully understand that power, Kaiser sneered. For a moment, Shota felt his spirit waver, but Lillian's voice encouraged him again. Shota, you hold all the knowledge and power of this library. Believe in it. Unlocking all his inner strength, Shota delivered a final blow. The intense light enveloped Kaiser, who vanished into nothingness. Is it over? Shota murmured, out of breath. Yes, Shota, thanks to you, the library is saved. Lillian smiled gently, feeling deep relief. Shota was grateful that he and Lillian could protect the library's peace. He resolved to continue his role as the library's librarian. I will continue to protect this library. For everyone, Shota quietly vowed. Thank you, Shota. Your courage and knowledge will guide this library into the future. Lillian expressed her gratitude. The Guardian's Oath. With the battle against Kaiser over, Shota successfully restored peace to the library. The library, once again enveloped in silence, regained its role as a place where ancient knowledge was protected. Standing in the center of the library, Lillian spoke quietly to Shota. Thanks to you, this library is once again a safe place. Thank you so much, Shota. I just did my best to protect the library. Shota replied humbly. Lillian smiled and said, please continue to use your knowledge and courage to serve as the guardian of this library. Nodding deeply, Shota embraced a new resolve. I will continue to protect this library, and use the knowledge hidden here correctly for the future. Renewing his commitment to protect the library, Shota continued to work with Lillian, organizing old books and exploring new knowledge together. One day, Shota found an old diary in a corner of the library. It contained records of people who had once visited the library, including Lillian's past. Lillian, this diary mentions you, Shota said with interest. Lillian smiled and replied, yes, I was once a seeker of knowledge who visited this library, and now, I serve the role of protecting that knowledge. Moved by Lillian's words, Shota vowed to fulfill his role as the library's guardian alongside her, the eternal library. Years passed, and Shota gained much knowledge and experience within the library. He continued to protect the library with Lillian, providing knowledge to many people. One day, Shota welcomed a young researcher who, like Shota once did, came to the library in search of knowledge. "Welcome. What are you looking for in this library?" Shota asked kindly. "I am a historian. I came to research ancient texts." The young researcher replied. Smiling, Shota said, "There is much knowledge here for you to explore. Please feel free to investigate." Grateful, the young researcher moved deeper into the library. Watching him, Shota reflected on his own journey. "I was once a seeker of knowledge too. Now, I am happy to provide knowledge to others as the library's guardian." Shota murmured to himself. Lillian, also watching Shota's growth, smiled quietly. "Thanks to you, this library will continue into the future." "Yes, Lillian, let's continue to protect this library together," Shota replied firmly. In the quiet of the library, Shota and Lillian took a new step forward, holding hope for the future. Their story was forever etched in the night library, passed down to future guardians. Thus, Shota's adventure came to an end, but the story of the night library continued. Shota and Lillian quietly watched over the many people who would visit this place in search of new knowledge and encounters. Thank you for spending time with Runa until the end today. I am very happy if you enjoyed the memorable reading. Please subscribe to the channel and give it a high rating. I will prepare a new reading for you tomorrow, so please come back again. Have a good night, goodbye, and see you tomorrow.